Hey there, my fellow light blue. Today we've got news on signings and departures, signings that will be crucial for our team, especially to fill some gaps, particularly in attack to support Dezers. Here's what we'll cover today. Rangers eye a new defender transfer amid a £4.2 million Domagoj Braderick breakthrough. Rangers could land a dream signing for Dezers in a move for an exceptional star from Chelsea. Todd Cantwell torn to shreds by a BBC pundit amid Rangers transfer development. Philippe Clement contract doubts raised as Rangers close in on a new appointment. And a few more details to cover. So smash that like button and let's get this show on the road. Alright, let's break this down in proper Rangers style. So it looks like we've got our eyes on a new defender. Domagoj Braderick from Salernitana, and the deal could be a cheeky loan-to-buy setup. Now, according to the Croatian news outlet Index, and backed up by the Daily Record, Salernitana reckon he's worth around £4.2 million, and they're pushing for an obligation to buy. In other words, they want to make sure we fork out the cash eventually. Now let me tell you why this lad Braderick makes a lot of sense for us. We brought in Jefte this summer, but if Clement fancies using him further up the pitch, we'll need someone solid at left back, especially considering Ridvan Yilmaz has been spending more time with the physio than on the pitch lately. Braderick isn't just any old signing, though. This fella's got experience in Serie A with Salernitana and League One with Lille, so he's no stranger to high-pressure football. And let's be honest, there's no better place to test your mettle than in the intensity of the Scottish Premiership, especially when it comes to those nail-biting old firm derbies. At 24, Braderick is just hitting that sweet spot where he's got experience but still plenty of room to grow. He could end up being a long-term asset for us, and that's something we definitely need. Plus, he's got the pace, defensive chops, and the knack for getting forward that could really add some punch to our play, both in Scotland and in Europe. And let's face it, having depth and quality in the squad is key if we're going to make any serious noise this season. And if Yilmaz ends up packing his bags in the next few days, getting Braderick in becomes less of a luxury and more of a necessity. We'll need someone reliable to fill that left-back spot, and this Croatian lad might just be the answer. Rangers have got a couple of weeks left before the transfer window slams shut, and there's talk that we might just land a dream signing to give Cyril Dezers the support he desperately needs. We've been busy this summer, bringing in a bunch of new faces, Hamza Igamane, Oscar Cortez, Mohamed Diamande, and a few others. But let's be honest, it hasn't been quite enough to get us where we want to be, especially after that disappointing exit from the Champions League against Dynamo Kiev. Now the rumor mill is buzzing with the name Leo Castledine, an 18-year-old playmaker from Chelsea. Rangers are reportedly keen on getting him on a season-long loan, with an option to buy next summer. But of course, nothing's ever that simple. Chelsea would rather just loan him out without any strings attached, and we're not the only ones interested. Aberdeen and a few championship clubs down south are also sniffing around. Here's why this could be a cracking move for us. Castledine's got bags of talent. The lad had a brilliant season with Chelsea's U21s, banging in 10 goals and setting up 9 more in just 18 games. He's an attacking midfielder who knows how to find the back of the net, something we could definitely use right now. Let's face it, Dezers has been a bit of a mixed bag since joining us. He's got the numbers, 22 goals and 9 assists last season, but if you watched him play, you'll know he missed a fair few sitters. The man's like a roller coaster, brilliant 1 minute and frustrating the next. He's already off to a decent start this season with 3 goals in 5 games, but he's still missing chances that a top striker would bury. This is where Castledine could come in handy. He's young, hungry, and has the potential to be that goal-scoring number 10 we're lacking. Tom Lawrence, our other attacking midfielder, hasn't exactly set the world on fire. 0 goals and assists in 4 starts this season, and his stats from last season aren't much better. We need someone who can take some of the pressure off Dezers, and Castledine could be that guy. He's been praised as exceptional on the ball, and while he hasn't had much of a chance to prove himself at the senior level, a loan to Rangers could be the perfect opportunity for him to step up. If he can bring his youth-level form to the big stage, he might just be the perfect partner for Dezers, adding goals and creativity to our attack. So, Koppen and Clement need to pull out all the stops to get this deal over the line. If we can land Castledine, it could be a game-changer for us this season. Let's hope we can get it done before the window closes. So alright, let's dive into the latest bit of drama swirling around Rangers. Todd Cantwell, our midfielder, who came in with a bit of hype, is now finding himself in the hot seat, and not in a good way. BBC pundit Rory Loy has had a proper go at him after Cantwell apparently told Philippe Clement he wants out of Rangers. Now this isn't sitting well with anyone, especially given how things have panned out since he joined us. Loy's basically saying he can't wrap his head around why Cantwell wants a new challenge. He's come up to Scotland, bagged himself one trophy, but let's be honest, he's been pretty invisible in the big games, especially against Celtic. Callum McGregor's been running rings around him every time, and now Cantwell's talking about wanting something new? Sounds more like he's running away from the challenge rather than stepping up to it. Clement's come out and confirmed that Cantwell wants to move on, which is why he's not been picking him for the first team. But Loy's not buying it. He reckons Cantwell should be staying professional, giving it his all, and maybe even earning himself a decent move with his performances. Instead, he's sitting in the reserves, collecting his paycheck, and not exactly in a rush to find a new club unless something perfect comes along. It's a tough spot for Clement too. He's got a player on the books who could make the team better, but that same player's saying he wants out. It's a bit of a mess, really, and Loy's calling it baffling. And you know what? He's got a point. So, what do Rangers do now? We're left with two options, really. Either we try to reintegrate Cantwell into the squad, which could give us the depth we're currently lacking, or we need to move fast and sign a replacement. Reintegrating him might spark some competition in the squad, maybe even push a few others to up their game. Plus, Cantwell could use this as a chance to prove his worth, or at least bump up his transfer value if he's still set on leaving. On the flip side, bringing in a new signing could be the safer bet, ensuring we're not left in the lurch, especially in those crucial matches coming up. Either way, the club needs to make a call soon to keep us competitive both at home and in Europe. We can't afford to be dithering while other teams are strengthening. So, here we are, stuck with a player who's not happy, a squad that's a bit unbalanced, and a ticking clock before the transfer window shuts. Let's hope the powers that be at Rangers make the right move because we've got no time to lose. Bill Lecky's taken a bit of a dig at Rangers for handing Philippe Clement a new contract while we're still in the middle of searching for a new chief executive. Apparently, St. Mirren's vice-chairman, Jim Gillespie, is the favorite to step into the role. And Lecky's got his doubts about why anyone would want to take on what he's calling either the Holy Grail or a poisoned chalice. Lecky's got a sharp tongue, I'll give him that. He's basically saying, if you're the one taking this job, make sure the same person who sorted Clement's contract sorts out yours too. He's implying that maybe Clement's deal wasn't the smartest move by the club, given the current state of affairs. But let's be fair to Clement here. He's not the one to blame for the mess he walked into. The squad he inherited was full of underperformers and players who seemed more interested in leaving than playing. Plus, he's had to offload some of the highest earners just to scrape together a team that can compete in both the Scottish Premiership and Europe. It's not exactly been an easy ride. We all know that Champions League qualification would have been a massive boost, £40 million to be exact, but it didn't happen, and now Clement's left with just 11 days to try and bring in some reinforcements before the transfer window slams shut. It's a tight spot, no doubt about it. Now, Rangers definitely need a strong leader to take control of this circus and get things back on track. It looks like Gillespie might be the one stepping up to the plate, and if he does, he's got his work cut out for him. A return to Rangers could be just the thing to lift the spirits of the fans, but the ongoing financial mess at the club isn't something that'll be fixed overnight. Gillespie's going to have a monumental task ahead if he's the one to steady this ship. John Bennett and Philippe Clement need all the help they can get to steer the club back to the top of the league and make us regulars in the Champions League again. It's high time we stopped making the wrong decisions and started putting things right, ending this culture of failure that's been hanging over us. Lecky's got his concerns, and I can't say they're entirely off the mark. But let's hope that with the right moves in the next few weeks, we'll be talking about Rangers making a proper comeback, not another season of what-ifs. Let's talk about Ioannis Hagi. Poor lad's been dropped to the B team recently, sparking rumors that Fiorentina might be sniffing around for him. But here's the twist. Hagi's not asked to leave Rangers at all. Despite being left out of the Champions League squad and playing with the reserves, he's kept his head down and stayed professional. Sources have cleared up the confusion, saying it was the club's decision to leave him out, not his own. So for now, it seems like Hagi's still keen to fight for his place at Rangers. And finally, we've got Rabbi Matondo in the mix. It looks like he could be on his way out, with Leeds United showing some interest. The asking price? A cool £2 million. It's looking likely that he'll be off this summer, so we'll have to wait and see how that one unfolds. So, there you have it. Just another day in the life of a Rangers supporter, filled with transfer rumors and the hope that we're making the right moves before the window closes.